Welcome to Mrs. J's Algebra 1 YouTube channel. If you are going to be part of my Algebra 1 class this year, or if you are going to be part of my Honors Algebra 1 class, you are in the right place. And this is a channel that I hope you will utilize a lot this year. Whether you are absent and need to make up the lesson that you missed, whether you just didn't get it in class and you want to go back and rewatch the lesson and see if you can find the pieces that you missed, or if we flip the classroom and I ask you to watch the lesson before you ever come to class, this is the channel that you are going to want to use. So I thought a good way to introduce you to it would have you watch this video where I'm going to go over what supplies you need this year, what our class procedures are, what our class expectations are, all of those fun things that we usually cover on the first day of school. I wanted to cover in this video. So if we start with our supplies for this year, I'm asking you to have a 5-subject spiral notebook. Now I want pockets on those dividers because we're going to slide important papers into them. We're going to have bell ringers we're going to put in them, all sorts of different things. So make sure when you pick up that 5-subject spiral notebook that it does have pockets on the dividers. Also, it's going to be 5-subject because it should last you all year long as you don't rip papers out of it. It will last you all year long. All right. I'd also like you to get a pack of quad filler paper, which basically is just graph paper. Again, we're going to be graphing quite a lot this year, and we're going to just glue that filler paper right into our spiral notebook when we need to. So if you'll bring in a pack of quad filler paper, I will keep it here in the classroom for you. I'm asking you to get 2 packs of pencils and 2 packs of red pens. 1 pack will be for yourself. 1 pack you are also going to leave here in the classroom. So if you come to class one day and you have forgotten your pencils or your red pens, you can borrow one from me. Next, I need you to have 2 pocket folders, the ones that have the brads in the middle, so we can punch holes in papers and put those papers in the brads. Those will be for, one will be for your projects. We're going to have projects at least 1 a semester, maybe 1 every quarter, but that way you'll have a folder for your projects already. I'll be keeping that in a file folder here in my classroom. 4-pack of glue sticks. Again, we're going to glue a lot, whether it's an activity, a hands-on activity, whether it's graph paper into your notebook. We're going to use glue sticks a lot. So if everyone could just bring a 4-pack of glue sticks, that would be a great start. Also, a 24-pack of crayons. I know that we are not in elementary school anymore, but again, I like to do a lot of hands-on projects and activities, and crayons would be a huge help. And then a Casio FX calculator. It is the calculator that they've used in 7th and 8th grade, so they can use the one they've already been using, or if you'd like to get a new one, that is also fine as well. So this is our supply list. We will have a supply quiz on Friday. Okay, so Friday, and that's going to be August the 20th. All right. I take that back. That is going to be August the 17th. Okay, August the 17th. So our first Friday in school, we will have a supply check, and it will count as your very first quiz grade. It will count as your very first quiz grade. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is your classroom expectations. I don't like to call them necessarily rules. I want you to know what I expect from you. When you meet these expectations, that says a lot and about how you respect the classroom and your classmates and me as your teacher. So really 4 simple things. Make sure you have all your supplies and are in your seat when the bell rings, or you're going to be marked tardy. This allows me to start on time. You're going to have bell ringers. You're going to have different things that as soon as that bell rings, I need to tell you. So if you are in your seat with your supplies, when the bell rings, you won't be marked tardy, and you will know exactly what I want from you because it will be on the screen when you enter the classroom. All right, returning to your locker is not going to be allowed. So make sure you have all your supplies for the day. Again, it'll be on the screen, and that you are in your seat when the bell rings, or you're going to be marked tardy. Number 2, I want you to ask permission to talk or get out of your seat by simply raising your hand. Here's some ways I like to have you get permission without even having to say anything. If you raise just your hand, I'm going to assume you have a math question. If you raise your pencil in the air, I'm going to know that you need to sharpen it. And if you raise your potty pass, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, I'll know that you need to go to the potty. And that way I can give you a nod, I can give you a hand motion to go, but I never really have to even stop teaching. So make sure you're asking permission before you talk. We're going to do a lot of partner things and a lot of group things, so you're going to have plenty of time to talk. But if I'm in front of the room and I'm giving instruction and I'm teaching a lesson, just don't talk without permission. Number 3, take a nap at home. Hey, I'm not going to allow you to lay your head down or slouch in your seat. We are here to learn. We only have 50 minutes a day to do math, and you're gonna enjoy math, hopefully, if you put effort in. So no taking a nap, no laying your heads down, no slouching. If I see you doing that, after a few warnings, I'll allow you to stand in the back if that will help you. Number 4, hang out in your seat until the ending bell sounds and I dismiss you. I want to make sure that the bell isn't what prompts you to jump up and leave, but that it's me. Just in case I have one last minute instruction to give you, or I want to take a homework problem off or add a homework problem, just make sure that I'm the one that dismisses you and not the bell. All right, so these are our classroom expectations. The next thing that I want to look at are our classroom consequences. Now, this is the not fun part of the video, but I do run a tight ship in my classroom. I want to make sure, again, that we get the most out of every single day, and so I do expect the classroom expectations to be followed. So here is what I have in place in case they aren't. The first thing that I will do is give you a warning. I believe everyone deserves a warning, and so you will receive a warning if you are not meeting one of our classroom expectations. The next thing I will have is what I call a behavior think sheet. It just has you step away from the situation, and unfortunately step away from what we're doing in class, to really think about your behavior and how it's affecting you from learning and how it's affecting all of those around you. Once you've filled out a behavior think sheet, then there will be parent contact. It will either be an email, it will be a phone call, it will be some sort of parent contact to let parents know what's going on and try to get that support and that extra encouragement from home. And then lastly, my last, the thing that I'm trying to avoid, the last resort would be a referral, and that will get you sent to the dean's office and get those demerits issued. I like this saying, you are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequence of your choice. So every day we have a choice about how we're going to behave, and I'm hoping that you choose to make the right decisions so that these consequences aren't even part of our class hour. So again, you are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choice. The next thing I want to look at are class procedures. Moving on to some happier things, every single student will receive a student number. That student number will go in the top right corner of all of your papers, and it will serve as your cell phone parking space. The very back of the room next to the door is our cell phone parking space. So whatever your student number is, that will also be the pocket that you put your cell phone in. As soon as you enter the room, you're going to park it. Remember, a cell phone in your pocket is 5 demerits, and nobody wants 5 demerits. I don't want to give 5 demerits. You don't want 5 demerits. That loses you your exemption right off the bat. So as soon as you enter the room, park it. The exception would be Monday. On Mondays, if you want to come over to the homework board and take a picture of your homework for the week, totally fine with that. But other than that, make sure as soon as you enter the room, you park your cell phone. The next thing I'm going to give you is what I call a potty pass. And I don't know if you've had teachers in the past who have given you potty passes, But the way that mine work, it's a little card, it's laminated, it'll slide right into your wallet, it'll slide into the pocket of the divider in your spiral notebook, but you don't want to lose it. It gets you 5 trips to the potty in a 9-week period. It's the only way that I let you leave to go to the potty is if you have that pass. So as soon as you get it, you're going to want to put your name on it. You're going to want to put it somewhere safe. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is the missing homework sheet. In the back of my room, there is a shelf, and the missing homework sheets will be in one of the cubbies of that shelf. Any day that you come to class without your homework, you're going to grab one of those pink sheets and you're going to fill it out. It's going to be in your handwriting why you don't have the homework. I'll keep it on file. That way, if I ever have to meet with parents or if there's ever a dispute about whether or not a homework got turned in, I will have that missing homework sheet in your handwriting, student, and we will know if you turned it in and if not, why you didn't. Now, let me talk to you about how homework works as far as late go. You are allowed to turn 2 assignments in late every 9 weeks. If you are going to use a late on a homework, you have until the day after it was due. So you don't have until the end of the week, you don't have until the end of the next week. If it's due on Monday and you don't have it on Monday, it has to be turned in to me by Tuesday. So it's due the day after it was originally due. Hopefully that makes sense. But you get 2 of those. We'll grade it, you'll get full credit, but you get 2 of those only in 9 weeks. Once those 2 lates have been used, I won't take anything else late. So use those wisely. Use them for sports events. Use them if you know you're going to be at church. Don't use them because you've left your homework in your locker. Another thing I want to say about late homeworks or not having your homework. If you get 3 zeros in a row, I am going to issue demerits for being unprepared. Now, before you get upset and think, man, Miss Johnson's really mean, let me tell you why. Homework has a huge impact on your grade. It's not worth as much percentage-wise as tests and quizzes, but we have way more homeworks than we do tests and quizzes. So while 1 0 might not hurt you on a homework assignment, when you start hitting 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, your grade is going to suffer simply because you are not doing your homework. So I want to give you incentive to do that homework. All right, so 3 zeros on homework in a 9-week quarter, and there's going to be some demerits issued for being unprepared for class. So just do your homework. I do not give more than 10 homework problems a night. So you never have to worry about having so many homework problems that you just can't do them. You're never going to have more than 10. All right, now homework passes. I will offer homework passes throughout the year. So here's my only rule with homework passes. It can replace an entire assignment. You don't have to do it, but you do have to leave a space in your notebook, and you also can only use 1 a week. So you can't hold on to 2 or 3 of them and think, oh, I'm going to have a whole week of no homework. You can use 1 homework pass a week. All right? This is one I am really excited about because I started implementing it towards the end of last year. But test corrections. Test corrections are going to be required for students who have a D or an F on a test. What these test corrections are going to allow for is for you to earn half the points back that you lost. There's a very specific procedure that you're going to follow, and I'm going to hand those papers out to you, and they're going to be put into your test and quiz folder. But this is a chance for those people who get a D or an F to bring that grade up. It will be optional and available to anybody with a C or higher. So people with A, B's, or C's can do the corrections if they want, but they are not required. People with D's or F's will be required to do these test corrections. Also, when you get to class, you're going to notice a section on the board called While You Were Out. It is your responsibility if you're absent to get your makeup work from me. So I have a folder system. If you were out, you will go check the folder for the day you were absent, and any handouts, notes, anything of importance that was given out when you were missing will be in that folder with your name on it, ready for you to pick up. So these are just some of our class procedures. The next thing that I want to talk about are your textbooks. When you get to class on Monday, you will be receiving a brand new textbook. This is the first year in this curriculum, and so these books have never ever been used. So you're going to open up the front cover and you're going to write your full name on the inside cover. All right? So once you have your name, you're going to come to find me, and I'm going to have a list, and you are going to sign out your book for the year. Okay? These are brand new books. So by signing the yellow sheet, you are agreeing to keep that book covered at all times and only allow normal wear and tear. So when you cover a book, here's what I ask. Cover it with a paper bag first. All right? Paper bag. There are YouTube tutorials all over the place about how to cover a book with a paper bag. Paper bags can be gotten from grocery stores. I know Miss Westcott over in the high school building, she usually will sell them for $0.25. But you're going to cover that book with a paper cover. Then once it's covered with a paper cover, then you can go ahead and put one of those stretchy covers that have designs and things like that over it. But you must keep your book covered. All right, I will give you a day of grace if your book cover falls off, but if you cover it properly, then it should not fall off. All right, so that is our textbooks. I'm really excited about our new curriculum and excited that I'm getting ready to hand you guys brand new books. Brand new books. All right, next, setting up notes. And we will go over this again in class as we do take notes for the very first time. But we're going to put our date in the top left corner, and I'm talking to the right of the red line. Okay, the lesson's going to go on the top line to the right of the red line, and then you're going to copy your notes quietly. They will be on the board. They're probably more than likely going to be on the screen, but you will copy your notes, and each day we'll do it different. Sometimes I'll have you copy, sometimes I'll hand them out, but you will follow along and you'll work the problems with me in your notes. If I have you copy down notes before I start teaching, I'm not looking for you to answer all the problems. I'm looking for you to write them down, leave space, and then work them with me as I teach you, okay? Pay attention. Taking notes is not an option. It is something that has to be done in order for you to be successful, all right? So again, I just want to reiterate that taking notes is not an option. If we glue notes in, it's not an option. Notes are going to be your lifeline in this class. All right, now setting up your homework. Your homework will always go on the page directly behind your notes in your spiral notebook. So you will fold your paper down the middle horizontally. Again, your date's going to go in the top left corner to the right of the red line. The entire assignment will go across the top line. Okay, the entire assignment, the page, the problems, how many problems. So the entire assignment will go across the top line. Your student number will go in the top right corner. Now your student number doesn't have to go on your notes, but it does have to go on your homework because we grade and turn those grades in. Once you have your student number in the top right corner, you're going to work down the left column, and then you are going to work down the right column. So you're going to be very careful not to cross over that crease or that fold down the middle. Okay, this will help when someone is trying to grade your paper. It's going to be very organized. And again, we're going to go over all of this in class. Here's what's important about your homework. If you want to get full credit for your homework problem, you have to write the original problem, you have to show me your work, and you have to box in your final answer. If you do those things and you get a wrong answer, you're only going to lose 1 point. If you eliminate any of those things, you're going to lose 5 points for not doing the problem completely. So write the original problem, show me your work, box in your final answer, and you are either going to lose no points because you're going to have the answer right, or you're only going to lose 1 for having the wrong answer. So this is really, really important. And again, I will remind you of this when we get ready for our first homework assignment. Notebook checks, real quick. We're going to do these at the end of every 9 weeks. All right, it will count as a quiz grade. So So it's really important that as we go along, you keep your notes and your homework in order. Notes, homework, notes, homework. And it's going to be very important that you keep your tests and quizzes. One of those folders that you're going to get with the brads, the pocket folders, is going to be specifically for your tests and your quizzes. As I hand them back, you're going to keep them in that folder. So when it comes time for your notebook check, you're going to be able to pull them out and hand them back into me. All right. It says each section of your notes taken in class is in your spiral notebook, and each homework assignment given in the spiral notebook is behind the notes that it goes with. Okay. Each quiz and test given that quarter is in your test and quiz folder. So notebook checks are an easy way to end the 9 weeks with a really good quiz grade. Okay. Speaking of quizzes, I don't have a slide on it, but if we're talking about quiz grades, do drop your lowest quiz grade at the end of the 9 weeks. All right, so don't make your notebook check your lowest quiz grade by getting a 0. All right, let's save that for something else. But I do drop your lowest quiz grade at the end of the 9 weeks. Now, if you made it to this last slide, you did it. You made it through your first YouTube video for Mrs. Johnson's algebra class, and I am super, super proud of you. By doing this, you're going to be able to come on Monday, and you are going to be able to enjoy what I have planned for you. Now that you've watched all the tedious expectations and rules, and we've gotten that out of the way, we're going to be able to do, hopefully, some more fun things that are going to help these expectations and these things stick with you. So again, thank you for watching the video. Remember to bring me your signed syllabus page. That will be part of your supply quiz on Friday. But for every day that you bring it into me before Friday, I'm going to give you bonus points. And I have no idea what I'm going to give you bonus points on yet. It could be on your first quiz. It could be on your first test. But I am going to keep track of how many days early you turn in your signed syllabus sheet. All right. And one other thing I want to talk to you about is on your syllabus. Okay. And this will mean you have watched this video to the end. On your syllabus, I listed a way that you can get a homework pass to start the year. There are 2 different sets of things that I am in need of for the classroom. And if you bring me either of these sets of things, I'm going to give you a homework pass. The first set is if you can bring me a bag of candy and some Lysol wipes, I'm going to give you a homework pass. If you bring me a box of tissues and a pack of colored pencils, I'm going to give you a homework pass. All right, so 1 homework pass. If you want to bring me both sets of things, awesome, great, but I'll give you 1 homework pass. Or you can bring me one or the other. All right, I'm so excited about this year. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on Monday.